everybody, and welcome back to another writing vlog. So today's just a plain old writing vlog, nothing special, no essays, no short stories. However, maybe not a super straightforward writing vlog. I was supposed to be finishing the rough draft of Project Caramel Latte Book 2, so that's the sequel to my novel, which I've been using the project code Project Caramel Latte for. It's an urban fantasy mystery series. I've been writing Book 2 while querying Book 1, and I was aiming to finish Book 2's rough draft by the end of the second quarter for this year, which would be coming up at the time of recording in about a month and a half. However, a couple of things have come up, and I'm going to be putting that on the back burner for now. Basically, I did a one-to-one session with an agent at the Bournemouth Writing Festival. If you want to know more about the Writing Festival more generally, I did a vlog kind of chat about it, so you can go check that out. But he gave me a couple of notes as potential edits. I wasn't sure if I fully agreed with all of them. Some of them I could kind of more see. However, I don't think going through and re-editing the work is always necessarily a bad thing. Polishing it just one more time is fine. So I think deciding whether or not I want to take on some of those notes is going to take rereading it in order to remind myself about some of the kind of smaller, more gritty elements of it, because I don't remember that. I wrote it so long ago. So I want to reread it and make sure that it makes sense, and then if I want to make changes, maybe make some of those changes, then see how that reads, see how I like it. So we're going to be working on those edits today, but only on probably the first couple of pages of the novel. I'm going to be going up until where you would normally submit for an agent, and I have the next agent in mind that I want to be submitting to, and I really like them. So I'm going to maybe be editing up until what they want, even if some of the other material would be post that. So I'm going to kind of look at that a little bit more in depth and see how that works. The other thing that I might do, we'll see if I have time. I have had an idea for another novel for a while that isn't related to the series, the urban fantasy series. I have been slowly developing the plot in my head, kind of over the course of probably about 2 years. The urban fantasy mystery really just came like fully formed basically in my head. I didn't really have to do a lot of figuring out how I want the story to work and stuff like that. It just kind of was like, this is how it would work, this is how it's structured, this is how it functions, go. For this one, it's a lot more of, I just had a general vibe idea, and then I added kind of a world element to it, and then I added a bit of a main character that I wanted to center everything around, and then I added a plot. So I don't have the full sketching out of the plot in its entirety. I know what the kind of gist of the plot is going to be, and I know what I want to do with it, and that's kind of all I have. However, there is a competition coming up soon for openings of books. So it's the first 1,500 words of your novel, and you win like a course to help you finish the novel. I was going to be submitting the beginning of Project Caramel Latte. I'm already editing it anyway for submission, so I might as well brush it up and submit it to that as well. So I'm going to try to see if I have time or energy or thoughtfulness to do the first 1,500 words of this potential other novel. I have been using in my own notes the title Project Submarine for it because there's a lot of submarines in the story, and it all kind of, I started really formulating it when I had a dream about a submarine that I became really obsessed with. So I've been calling it Project Submarine, so I'll probably keep calling it Project Submarine. I'm not like super creative with titles. It's one of the reasons why I like being a nonfiction writer, is you don't have to worry too much about titles. Anyway, so that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be doing a lot of editing. So when it comes to Project Caramel Latte edits, I have the whole novel written out here. I have trouble doing more nuancy, gritty, granular, sentence by sentence edits on a computer. I don't know why. I have always struggled with it. I struggle with it for my nonfiction. I struggle with it for my fiction. But I find it useful. So that's what we're going to be using to go through the edits today. Is we're going to be doing it manually on here. So we're going to start with that. I have to go make coffee in order to get me going. Then we're going to sit down and we're going to work on this manuscript. it's about lunchtime, and it's good timing too because I just finished making all of my notes on the first 3 chapters, to the point where I had marked where to finish marking for the day. I don't know whether I'm going to go ahead and make those changes today because I might want to be able to go back another day and do them like with thought and consideration, or instead of doing this something else in this afternoon, that's what I do. I don't know. But either way, it is time for a lunch break and a thought, a little thinking. Ooh, hello. All right. I am back from my break. It was a tiny bit of a longer break than I had initially planned because I had to deal with laundry and bread, and I called my mom for Mother's Day, a day late, but still, she knew it was going to be a day late. It's fun. So it's a little bit later than I had initially planned on coming back to, and that means that I only have about an hour and a half-ish left. So what I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try writing the first 1,500 words of this other book for the contest, just so that way I have more time to edit or completely redo it if I find that I don't like it. I think that gives me enough time to kind of fall into it. Is that something I want to do? I'm not going to put any pressure on myself. I don't have to write 1,500 words today. I don't have to write any words today. I just kind of want to get... I think I need to get a feeling for tone. I need to get a feeling for just kind of the vibe and the writing style that I want to go with for it. And maybe a little bit of a feel for the voice of the main character. I just kind of gotta... I think I've just kind of gotta write to work out all of that in my head. So I think that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna just kind of set a timer for an hour, and we're just gonna go for an hour and nothing else and see what happens. How about that? That's what we'll do. Okay, this concludes the day's worth of work. Let's chat about today. To be honest, I achieved the big thing that I wanted to do today, which was to go through the first roughly 3 chapters of Project Caramel Latte and do a bit of a quick and dirty edit on them. There were definitely some things that I could tighten up here and there. It seems very nitpicky. It's kind of one of those things where it's a very stylistic kind of difference of some people like things to be a little bit more wordy and some people don't. So that was good to go through. It felt productive. It felt good. I started the process of changing it on the computer, but I haven't gotten very far in it. The first 1,500 words of submarine... Let's just not talk about it. Can we just pretend that I didn't do that at all? Let's make an agreement. We'll make a pact. You don't know about Project Submarine. I didn't write anything. So the editing went pretty well. And no, honestly, like the writing was fine. It was okay. It just isn't reading the way that I want it to read. It's not communicating what I want it to communicate, which is fine. It's literally go number 1. It's not going to be perfect go number 1. I now know what I don't want to have happen. So now it's just a matter of figuring out the rest of it. Anyway, so basically all that's left to do now is to finish up the edits in the sense of actually putting in the physical edits that I made on the paper and putting them into the computer. I need to redo my query letter and then we can start going back to querying. I basically haven't sent out anything since like February, I think, was the last time I sent something out, and it is about mid-May. So I haven't really been like on it the last couple of months for life reasons. It happens. But we're going to start kind of really getting back into it, both on the fiction and the nonfiction side of things, starting now. As is exemplified by what we did today. Thanks for being with me. I hope your stuff is going a little bit better. It was fine. It was fine. I'll see you next time. What a way to end it. I need to end it a little bit happier than that. It was nice to have a kind of full day in my office. I haven't really had that in a while. I did do it. I did do a day with filming and everything like a couple of days ago, like Thursday or Friday or something. I did it like on Friday, I think, and then today's Monday. So this was only the second day of like a full session in my office, and I'm starting to kind of settle into it. I'm starting to feel more comfortable in it. It's going to be a process. It is what it is. The floor is slanted, so you are actually, while you are at my desk, you are like lower down than me. And every time I sit at my desk, I feel like I'm falling forward. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, I'm happy to be settling in and to be doing things and being productive, and the edits were good. So there are good things that are happening, and sometimes getting out some bad writing is a good thing because it gets it out, right? Now that's not clogging up the system and we can start reigniting in a different way. Thank you so much for being with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye!